All right, thanks so much, Dan. 7:16 is your time right now. It's the country's most famous mountain, and we have the honor of having it right here in our own backyard. So we decided to learn a little bit more about America's mountain by going for a ride up the Pikes Peak Highway in today's special report.
It's a challenge, but it's a fun challenge, I guess. You never know what the mountain's going to do. You don't know what the weather's going to be like.
Meet the manager of America's Mountain, Jack Glavin. This is his office.
It's not really my mountain, but I have a lot of pride, and I try to take care of it, yes.
Glavin is responsible for many things on a daily basis at Pikes Peak. With a staff of about 18, that doubles in the summertime. He's got to keep it all in line.
With Kathleen Lee Bates with America the Beautiful, we have the highway itself that's been publicized for the Colorado Springs area. It's near an urban area, and it's easy to get to. Not many people can hike a 14,000, but they can drive with it now.
Whether you take the Cog Railway up or the Pikes Peak Highway, it's up to Jack and his team to maintain this mountain for the more than 500,000 visitors that come here every year.
Recently, about 2008, we actually remodeled the Summit House so you can see the granite countertops.
With 5 to 7 facilities, a famous highway, home of the International Hill Climb, and of course the Summit House, Jack stays pretty busy.
We find that stuff that works down at sea level or down in Colorado Springs doesn't necessarily work the same up here.
And that includes baked goods.
So we know about the famous donuts at the top of Pikes Peak, but Helen Stewart was the one who invented a way to make these donuts at 14,000 feet like no other.
They had to make the ingredients to where they didn't require yeast to make the donuts rise.
Ah, yes, the donuts.
They can't be made anywhere else in the world. The recipe actually originated up here about 120, 150 years ago.
Shannon Page is the operations manager of the Summit House. She's worked here for several years, but the question is, does she still like them?
I actually still eat them every once in a while. I don't eat them every day, but I eat them every once in a while.
Up to 6,000 a day can be cranked out, keeping visitors and Shannon happy.
There you go. That's it. Looks good. It's too hot to eat, though.
Pikes Peak works just like a little city on a mountain, a city that can be affected by wildfires like Colorado Springs was last summer.
Once we got the word that they were shutting Highway 24 down, we had to shut down our operation and evacuate the mountain.
The Waldo Canyon Fire. You can easily see the scar from the top of the summit.
It was a big, fantastic effort from everybody, I think, just to keep all these people safe.
It took 8 hours and even the Cog Railway to get hikers and visitors off the mountain, something that's close to the heart of Jack, especially if the fire were to jump the road.
We're very concerned that if it did, we'd have that upslope condition and we could lose the whole mountain, basically.
Luckily, it didn't, and the mountain was up and running a week later.
I think they want the opportunity to be at 14,000 feet. Like today, I mean, this is what we'd call a blustery day. So you got a little wind, but you got the sun out, you got snow, and I think people want to go see that.
All in a day's work for the manager on the mountain.
Had a lot of fun up there, and thanks to Mike Byron, we did a great job, our photojournalist there, putting that together and everything. It was a lot of fun.
It's so iconic. I mean, every day I look at the mountain several times, you know. Yes. I mean, so it's nice to see the person who's in charge there, making it beautiful.
The easternmost 14er in the Rocky Mountain chain, and that's the best thing about Pikes Peak is that, you know, in 2011 they finished the paving all the way up to the top of the road. So it's one of the most accessible 14ers. You can actually drive right up to the top because a lot of people can't hike up there. That's what they said, that like to drive up there and get up there and say, hey, I'm at 14,000 feet. So
let's go.
Let's do it.
Today be a good day.
That's my second time I've done it, so I might do it once more.
7:20.